going on, guys? I am Freak from the channel Frost and Fist. I'm going to welcome you to this showcase. Got a really exciting one to share with you guys this time. It's not a Warhammer model. Ta-da! Nope. Give you a little backstory of what's going on with this. A couple of days ago, it was my brother's birthday, July 9th. As of the time of this airing, date of this airing. Anyway, so his birthday was July 9th, and my brother decided for his birthday, or close to around his birthday, he wanted to order one of those classic car kits that you can buy. They're not cheap, but you can order them online, and they will ship you all of the parts. The body, the tires, wheels, everything. You have to buy the motor separate, but you basically assemble it in your garage or whatever and build it from the ground up, right? So the type of car that he ordered was the 65 Shelby Cobra. And I was like, holy cow, that is so cool. It's such a neat little car, and the engine he's getting is going to be, of course, modern V8 on that bad boy, so that's going to have a lot of meat in there. So, and I was thinking, you know what would be really cool, since I'm not a mechanic. I know my way around my car, but I'm not going to be building engines anytime soon. But I am definitely a hobbyist, and I think, you know what? I was thinking it'd be really cool to just go ahead and see if I can find a model of that particular car, assemble it, and then build it and give it to him for his birthday. I've never done that before. I have never worked on a model scale car at all, ever. And so this was going to be a challenge for me because I was reading on, and I hesitated because there was a lot of back and forth. Should you go enamel? Should you go, acrylic? And for me, I'm comfortable with acrylic. I've never really worked with enamels before. Remember, my first start in the hobby was doing miniatures with acrylic paints. That's it. I wasn't doing anything else. So acrylic it was. Now, of course, there was a lot of debate. They say, acrylic enamels are better because when they cure, they will last forever. The paint actually looks better, looks cleaner. You get a nice smooth finish. All kinds of stuff. Although there are some cons to that, is that the enamels definitely take longer to dry. I don't have much patience, so I'm like, I think I'll probably stick with acrylic. So I decided to do so. So I found it on eBay, and I ordered a 65 Shelby Cobra. Yeah, Shelby Cobra. That's how it is. And I went and I assembled it. I got it from the sprues, it was brand new, and I'm thinking, wow, how am I gonna make this look like the car in the picture, or the car that he's ordering? So I was doing some research, looking online at these cars. They're gorgeous, and there were some very good samples, so I decided to go with a red. Tell you a little bit about what I did to the car, and by the way, here is a shot of it. It doesn't look too bad from this deal. So yeah, this is all acrylic and a lot of gloss, several layers of gloss. But I decided to do something a little different on this one, okay? Because I'm a Warhammer miniature painter person. I wanted to do a little shading. I didn't want just a single tone of paint. And you'll notice that there is some subtle shading. It's kind of hard. You can see in the recesses, through here. Wait, where's that? Right here, like that, right there, and then right up here. And also same thing in the little right by the. I don't know what this is. The fender well. So right in here, and in the opposite as well. Another thing you'll see is also a little darkened down towards the bottom. So I just to kind of break it apart, okay? And I also did a lot of work, and I'll show you in the pictures. I don't want to open the hood, but I did the same thing for the engine. I did a lot of dry brushing, a little metallic work. stuff that we would normally do as Warhammer miniature painters, right? So I decided to, do that almost if it was building a Warhammer miniature. So, but this was going to be a little different. So anyway, let me go back to how I decided to paint it. So I went ahead and I wanted to find a nice smooth red, but I didn't want just a basic red. I wanted the metallic flakes, just like automotive body paint comes in. So I took that red and I watered it down, and this is acrylic, and then I added a couple of drops of Vallejo chrome. It's a metallic, just so it can kind of spread out those flakes, okay, to give it that metallic look. Now, problem when you do that, it actually changes the tone of the color. So instead of red, it kind of changed it more into like, I don't know, like a pink with flakes. So I added a little more pigment, a little red pigment, and to kind of balance it out and bring it back down. I just wanted enough flakes to where it kind of pops when the light hits it and all that stuff. Okay. So once I put the couple layers of that color, then I went ahead and I did the shading. I did the shading in the little recesses. That way, when you look at it, you'll see like the curves will pop, because that's the brightest parts, like this area here. Again, there's no edge highlighting on this, guys. It's a model car, so I couldn't do anything. I was like, oh man, I need to edge highlight this. This needs to pop, but it's not going on a gaming table. So, but after I did that, then it was time to seal it. The gloss was probably the most problematic for me ever. I was so disappointed. I was at the point where I felt like I was just going to go ahead and just quit, because the gloss was not working with me. I was using, you're probably going to laugh, but I was using Pledge. That's right, Pledge. Some of you guys have heard of that. I use Pledge acrylic gloss polish, whatever. It's acrylic. It's acrylic, guys. And it works great when you're putting gloss on your minis. I've always used Pledge. I'll mix half of like about a jar about that tall jar. Anyway, a container about that tall, and I'll mix half of it with the Pledge, the gloss, and then half of it with water. And then take my airbrush and I'll spray it down, let it dry, and then spray a couple layers, and it'll give it a nice gloss. I usually use that on my miniatures to do the fine pin washing. That way, when you're using your wash, it runs right through the recesses, and you're not staining the sides. And then I go back and I matte finish it to tone it back down so my highlights will pop again. On this one, I just wanted to layer several layers of gloss because that's what the body paint needed. The problem is that when I did that, my airbrush air pressure was close to 35 to 40, between 35 and 40 psi, and I noticed that when I spray it, the first sprays looked okay, but as I was layering it, the air would force the product to hit the surface and would start creating these little bitty bubbles. They were so small, and these bubbles created just a very rough surface. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was so disappointed. I stripped the car 5 times. 5 stinking times. I was like, man, I was so ready to quit. But then I started reading or checking out some other YouTube channels, and one person said that what he does is that he takes a fine sandpaper like that and wet sand the body just like a real car. Okay, let me do that. So I did. I wet sanded it, got all of the rough areas out, and smoothed it out. Then went back and I took my time and I sprayed the gloss. This time I actually went to the to Hobby Lobby, our local hobby store here, and I actually got the Vallejo gloss varnish. the real stuff, right? So I went ahead, loaded up my airbrush, and I just went to town. And it looks, I think it took very, very well. You guys can see it's not as glossy as I would personally like, but I think overall it turned out nice. So aside from that, I wanted to do the like what we do with our vehicle, like the Predators or even like the Land Raiders, the exhaust. You know how sometimes we'll take the exhaust and we'll have that heat stress on it, right, at the pipes. Well, I wanted to do the same thing for this. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll see it better in the pics that I'll share with you. But this side, this right here where it comes out right from the headers is kind of a blue tint, blue reddish orangey tint, and in here more like dark soot coming from the exhaust tips. So I wanted that distinction. I wanted a little more realism for it. And also I went ahead and I painted the instrument cluster, right? The speedometer and the RPM gauge, all the gauges. I hand painted each one of those. I had the option to go ahead and put stickers on, and I'm like, you know what, lame. I'm a painter. Let me just jump right in. Man, I was cross-eyed days. That was rough. But overall, man, I think it turned out really nice. It turned out better than I personally expected, and I showed my brother. I haven't had a chance to give it to him, but I did send him the pictures, and he is ecstatic. He loves cars. He's loved cars since he was a baby. But this right here, I'm really hoping that he enjoys it. Now, funny thing about this model, it was very hard to find. I was able to locate it in brand new condition. Of course, it was it's still in the sprues in the bag, which was awesome. Now with it assembled, it actually has a little more value, which was what I wanted for my brother. So I really hope he enjoys, actually having it in person. But I got really, really excited. I'm glad I did it. It was a lot of work, a lot of ups and downs, mostly downs, but overall, like I said, I enjoyed it. I learned a lot, especially, doing model cars. I learned that it'll be a long time before I will ever do another model vehicle again, unless my brother begs me to do another one, then I'll do it. But I enjoyed it. I think it was fantastic, great learning opportunity. But I'm done. I'm gonna stick with Warhammer miniatures, or around that range. Anyway, so that is my showcase, guys. I really hope you enjoy it. I'm going to show you the pics. Don't go away. Check them out. Let me know what you think about them in the comments below. If you're not a subscriber, then of course, the Wolf Brother and El Frico would love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Also, hit the like button. Let me know what you think. Just keep spamming that like button like a nut job. Also, if you are not getting the notifications yet, then hit the little bell. That way you get notifications every time we put one of these out like this, right? Any video. Yeah, man, we're glad to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. So, guys, I am done ranting like a lunatic. I hope you like this showcase, and check out these pics. Thanks again for watching, guys. And oh, by the way, stay tuned. Fridays we have our live stream at 8:30 p.m. sharp. Hope to see you there, guys. Take care.